I just wanted to switch the lighting a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. So where I was gonna, before I go through my picture and the symbols that I used, and in order to figure out what my tree of life composition was gonna be, I know that I did attach a video on how to draw the tree, but I can take a couple minutes to break that down as well. So yes, you should have a centralized tree, and then everything around it is going to be your symbols, and then later afterwards you're going to add your designs into either your tree or any negative space that you have. So to start with the tree, it is easier to do it with a paintbrush, but I'm gonna assume that most people have at least pencil and paper, so that's why I started this way, where it's just everything is just a drawing. I know a lot of people might not have watercolors or paint at home, and that's totally fine. They can either leave it as a drawing if that's all they have is pencil, or they can again use marker or color pencil or crayons in order to color in their picture after the fact. So for the tree, just remember that you're kind of making it more symbolic and stylized, so you don't necessarily have to have it look realistic. So it's always going to be wider at the top, and then you're going to take one line and we're going to follow it around and then go back the other way in order to make the limb. All of those extra things, spirals that you see on here, were added after the fact. And then I just went up a little bit more and spiraled it out again and came back around and then went up, spiraled it, and then came back around. And I did the same thing to the other side. All of these other things I added in afterwards. So again, I'm going to post pictures in stages so you can kind of see it from simple to more intricate as well. So for my symbols, I chose 3 animals, and those were meant to personify my household, my family. So the fox is meant to symbolize my dog Ella, the otter is meant to symbolize me, and the bear is meant to symbolize my husband Chris. And from there, we also have other symbols. So I consider myself more of a water element, or gravitating more from water. So that was going back to this chart. So that's why I have me in water. And then I feel like Chris is more of an earth element. So then I have him with grass more in like the woods over here. Then the same thing for some of the other symbols. Going back to how I used this worksheet. So I feel like in this time it's that we need protection, and so I added in this moon symbol up here. And then I also added in the balance symbol into the middle of the tree, because I feel like that's the most important for me right now, is not having like a sense of what's coming next, and just like work and personal and like daily routines are all mixed up. So just trying to find balance within life. And then I also incorporated the love symbols in multiple places, and having them kind of like extend out through the roots in order to fulfill like both the water and the earth sides. And then for the flower symbol that I incorporated, I used the sunflower because it's meant to symbolize hope. And everything doesn't have to be to scale. Okay, so again, this is meant to be symbolic. It's meant to be stylized. So in real life, the bear would not be walking through a sunflower forest, but that's the beauty of the assignment. You can also use like things that you have in your house. So I was afraid that I might not have gold. So I actually just recently got a card for my birthday, and it had a bunch of shininess and gold into it. So I cut up the card, and I wanted to add in more features for the water elements. So I'm gonna have these like raindrops coming from the protection sun to fill my pond of where you see me in the picture, as like a way of like fulfilling the things that I need right now. Yeah, so again, take your time. I didn't set specific number requirements, but I would say you should have at least 5 symbols. So I used 3 animal symbols. I used 3 actually, different like culturally known symbols. I used flowers as a symbol. I used earth and water as a symbol. So the minimum I feel like to fill up a composition would probably be 5. I have more than that, and I feel like I still have a relatively simple composition. So once you're done figuring out what things you want in the picture, you're going to then start to color and shade it in with whatever materials you have. And then I know a lot of people have questions about when this worksheet comes into play. This worksheet would be at the end. Like, we're gonna, even on top of this, we're gonna add in more patterns and decorations inside of the tree. So we have to, like, again, slow down and take everything step by step. So for this week, if you haven't drawn the tree yet and figured out your symbols and composition, that's what you should do, just the drawing. And then next week you can do shading everything in and the intricate designs on top. I can post pictures of my finished product and how to add in designs later. Okay, so if you have any questions, again, just message me.